Hi, this is Joe. Today we're going to be talking about how we're going to troubleshoot and hopefully repair a Peavey guitar amplifier. So with that being said, let's get going. I'm going to turn this on. Obviously you can see that there are no lights on, so now we're going to take it apart and see what we come up with. So the first thing that you want to do, unplug the power cord. There's 4 screws on the very top of this thing. So alrighty. So now I'm going to be able to slide this puppy right out. Be careful not to pinch the speaker wires. As you can see, there's really not much to this thing. All we have here is this is your amplifier board. This is your matrix board here, and this is your power supply. Well, one of the first things that I saw was, bingo, we've got a blown capacitor on the power supply board. So with that being said, we don't have to fool with any of this stuff just yet. So let's take off the power supply board and see what we're up against. These are the 2 wires that go to your on-off switch, which go down to the power supply board. We have 2 screws here to disconnect the power connector. We have 1, 2, 3 screws here to actually disconnect the board. We have a flat ribbon cable here which we can disconnect off the power, and then we'll see where we go from there. Take the rest of these screws out here. Now we're going to disconnect the ribbon cable from the amplifier board. Disconnect the power leads. And we can turn this thing upside down. Now you can take a good look at that. It's pretty well gone. So one thing that I would caution anybody is that, see, this cap is a 100 microfarad 200 volt. So a couple of things, either it exceeded the voltage or defective cap. So what I want to do is get my meter and I just want to make sure that we don't have any voltage there, because capacitors will maintain a charge for a while, but hey, I'm not going to be stupid here. Okay, I got my trusty meter here, and all I want to do is just make sure that we don't have any voltage across this at all. And nope. It is totally dead. You can just pull the leads out. Okay. Let's try the solder wick. Got that. See if we can clear the hole out of this one. There we go. And with that, okay, So now we have clear holes. And here's the bad one. Now, not sure. It did a job on it. So now what we did was we went on Amazon, and for $8 I got a 10-pack, because we only need one. Now, one thing that you are supposed to do is, you notice on this cap you've got a negative sign. So when you pull this thing out, you should remember which one went where. Well, it just so happens that on the side of this thing it has a plus sign. So what we want to do, that's how it's going to go on. Just like that. Okay, now with that on, now we're going to take our solder . Now the last step is you want to take your small dikes and you want to cut off those leads. Normally, if there was something wrong with this system here, it would have blown this fuse. But it did not blow the fuse. Yeah, that fuse is good. So something happened, and I think it may have just been a defective cap. So, with that being said, I just inspected everything here, and I did not see anything else that was out of the ordinary. So, let's put this thing back together. I'm going to plug in the on-off switch, and this is the flat ribbon cable for the audio amplifier. Make sure that you line the pins up right. Okay, so they slide right in there like that. And so before I do anything else, before I put it back together, I'm going to plug this puppy in. I'm going to see if we make any arcs and sparks. I mean, worst case, it'll blow that cap again, or it'll blow the fuse. Let's see what we can do here. Okay, now for the moment of truth. I'll look through everything to see if anything looked or smelled wrong. So, and everything looks good. So I now have it plugged in, and the power's on, and look at that. We have lights. Well, that's fancy. Okay. So let's put this thing together and plug a guitar into it and let's see what we get. Let's slide this thing back in. Get the turn this around. Okay, so of course, small one's going to go on the small, and the big one's going to go on the big. Just like that. Okay, got the back. In here, hold it in place. Okay, so now we got this thing back together. Okay, let's plug this amplifier back in. We're going to do the power on. And we have power. Now, one thing I would highly recommend is that you always turn the volume down, all the way off rather, before you plug any instrument in. So we'll plug it in. Okay, let's try this out. Hey, this is Joe. Thanks for watching.